Up next, we had Dean Ambrose versus Cesaro. This match was incredible, but cut short.
Yeah, pretty much. That's the only reason why I didn't give it the match of the night mantle, because it really was. It had that ending where it just seemed like it was getting ready to hit that next gear. But you know what? I liked the finish, though, because it just made Ambrose look even more BA than he already is, and that thought alone is terrifying.
Yep.
They had a great back and forth. Cesaro looked like a beast. The spot of the night for me, Ambrose, when he was getting his second wind and taking it to Cesaro, he vaults over the ropes for a crossbody, but Cesaro intercepts it with an uppercut. That was awesome. And so, yeah, these two were really killing each other back and forth. Finally, though, Ambrose turned the tide, throws Cesaro into the ring post 3 whole times, and then when Cesaro's just kind of stuck there, Ambrose goes to the outside, gets a steel chair, and he pretty much thwacks Cesaro right in the arm with it. So he gets himself disqualified. So Cesaro's first match officially away from Paul Heyman, and it's a victory. I'll take it. And Dean Ambrose looks just like a monster, I'm telling you, and the crowd loves him. Crowd loves Ambrose. It's ridiculous.
Cesaro might have won on a technicality, but was it really even that much of a victory from a moral standpoint, John?
Dude, look who you're talking to.
You'll take anything.
Yeah, really. I'm like, are you really trying to present that to me right now? Who are you kidding? But, dude, really, again, I think if these guys ever do have a legitimate feud, it is going to be so good. But for what it was, I felt like it furthered Dean Ambrose's character as just a lunatic, as a guy who doesn't even really care about winning and losing, but just cares about punishing, committing acts of violence, and getting his hands on what he wants to get his hands on. And what he wants to get his hands on more than anything right now is Seth Rollins.
Freaking, like, I love it because at one point during the match, the commentators even said, I think that for a second there, he saw Rollins' face on Cesaro.
Yeah, that was a great line by commentary because it keeps the focus where it needs to be. I've been saying it for a while now. I think if any match of the year contender could happen at SummerSlam, it is Dean Ambrose versus Seth Rollins. I just think these guys are going to have a clinic. I cannot wait for it.
Yep, absolutely. So up next, we had our championship match opponent for John Cena getting named. Triple H comes out, and actually, you know what? He doesn't come out right away because Renee's backstage with Triple H. He's just telling her that he's getting ready to go to the ring to make his announcement, and she just asks, shouldn't you be with your wife right now? And he just gives her the death stare, and that's it, and then he walks away.
Yeah, you don't ask those kinds of questions, Renee.
You can, but then, Triple H isn't responsible for what becomes of you.
It's ill-advised, to say the least.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so up next was indeed Triple H naming John Cena's SummerSlam opponent. Randy Orton's music hits. He's getting ready to get into the ring, and out of nowhere, Roman Reigns, with a diving tackle, fights Orton off into the crowd, and they just kind of disappear. I imagine they're still fighting to this moment right now. Just somewhere in the back, maybe in the parking lot. They might have taken it to Dolphins Stadium somewhere across the road in Miami. But then Paul Heyman shows up.
Yes, Paul Heyman shows up, says, you know how much I respect you, Mr. COO, sir, but Plan A, Randy Orton, it's just not going to work as long as Roman Reigns is around. And your Plan B, I really like your Plan B. Seth Rollins is great, but he's never going to be able to cash in Money in the Bank as long as Dean Ambrose is around. So might I humbly advise you to take a look at Plan C? And then he points to the entranceway, and who emerges?
Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Freaking Lesnar, baby. We all knew it was happening, but it still gets me hyped just thinking about it.
Crowd popped huge for this. Hell, they were even chanting beforehand, we want Lesnar. They always know, like you said, Ash, when we were watching this. And, they come down the ramp. They get in the ring, moment of silence for a bit. Finally, though, Triple H shakes Paul Heyman's hand, then he shakes Lesnar's hand, pretty much sealing the deal. It will be Brock Lesnar versus John Cena at SummerSlam for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship, but Paul Heyman wasn't done, Ashton.
You know what, dude? Paul Heyman's promo here was so freaking long, I'm not even going to attempt to go over it word for word. All I'll say is that he did a great job of reinforcing who he is and who Brock Lesnar is as it pertains to a certain streak that maybe used to exist that doesn't anymore. And he did a great job of attacking John Cena without trying to take away any of his credibility. It was brilliant.
Paul is just a master of articulating his point, of really putting together a feud promo-wise. Like you, I'm not even going to try and recount everything that he said, because this was a long promo. In fact, that was the one complaint a lot of people had about it. They were like, "Oh, Paul, shut up." You know,
that's the point, though, dude. That's them trying to get Paul back to being over as a heel, because with Cesaro, people were starting to really enjoy them again, because Cesaro is just so undeniably charming that people just want to cheer him. So this is Paul standing next to a big, scary, ugly guy trying to get his heat back.
Definitely. And I think
really, if you look at it on the surface, people popped for Brock Lesnar. That's not what you want them to do.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So I don't know how many television dates Brock is going to make before SummerSlam, but if he's going to be on a few more Raws before then, because we're looking at SummerSlam is in 4 weeks, I would try and have him do maybe 1-2 reprehensible acts, or just really show what kind of danger John Cena's in, as if he shouldn't know it already. And Paul made that explicitly clear. One line I will quote, because I thought it was probably the best line of the whole thing, is that Paul Heyman said, now Brock Lesnar isn't going to be your typical villain. He's not going to suffice if John Cena was to just lay the belt at Lesnar's feet and surrender. No, this is a beating you cannot escape from. Love that. Love that, because it shows that no matter what Cena does, which you know he wouldn't anyway, because that's completely antithetical to his mantra, but it just says, John, no matter what you do, a beating is coming your way. It's an inevitability. So I really like that from Heyman. This was great stuff.
Yeah, I mean, the rumor just came out earlier this year that WWE had renegotiated Lesnar's contract. I'm assuming that a part of that contract was not only he beats Taker, but also that he's working more dates now, because there are so many people talking about how, oh, Brock's only going to be able to work 2 more pay-per-views for the rest of the year. Oh, Brock Lesnar this. Oh, Brock Lesnar that. Oh, dates this, dates that. Who cares? Just sit back and enjoy the ride. If Lesnar has a pay-per-view match, that's awesome. If not, it's even better, because they can put forward the idea that Lesnar is a prize fighter that doesn't always fight when you would expect him to.
That is true, and they've made that claim before. You know, Lesnar fights on his terms, not anybody else's. This is a guy, he does what he wants when he wants to do it, not anybody else. I'm really looking forward to this. It's great to see Lesnar back in the product. This guy is a monster. Really, I enjoyed his clash with John Cena at Extreme Rules. I thought it was great. I loved how he busted. It was amazing. I loved how he busted Cena open. I loved the whole dynamics of the match. I hope we get something similar at SummerSlam.
With a different result.
With a different result, exactly. I'd love to see Brock Lesnar with those belts, because, guys, you know whoever Brock Lesnar falls to, save for maybe a Daniel Bryan, because he's already so over that you don't know what WWE is going to do, but whoever Lesnar drops those belts to, and at this point I am thinking it's going to be Roman Reigns, if you want my personal prediction, they're just going to be, the reaction's going to be crazy, I think. Really thunderous. So, great to see Brock back in the product, and that's how we close this Raw out.